Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new small and compact toys FPV quadcopter. This is a new JJRC product. This is H32GH. So this model is not only including a 5.8 GHz small FPV rig, but also some altitude hold features. It's a very compact machine. It's a micro-size model. So let's discover what you will find in this compact box. Okay, a classic blue box from JJRC. So here is all the elements. So first of all, the quadcopter standalone. Mine comes in white edition, and you can find on front unfortunately the very narrow lens. It's an M6 model, so 5.85 millimeters to be more precise for the diameter of the lens thread. And you can find on the left side the micro SD card slot, and in the bundle no micro SD card is provided, so you have to give yours. On the bottom side you can find the linear antenna, okay, and all the canopy is in plastic. Should be durable because it's not so heavy. Motors are 8.5 by 20 millimeters cordless brushed motors. So since it's a brushed quadcopter, I always advise to stock in advance at least one clockwise and one counterclockwise motors. The LiPo is directly inserted and plugged when you receive it. And be aware, because for mine, I'm not sure that they didn't turn on the button by accident, maybe during transportation. And the contact one, the LiPo was got a very low voltage. I managed to retrieve to save the LiPo thanks to the NECD trick charger program to reach at least a nominal 3.3 volt. Then I continue with the classic LiPo charging program in my charger. So it comes with this 450 milliamps powers, one series LiPo ending with micro low-Z connector, a little bit long, and I can give you some information. For example, this battery, okay, if I can reset the stuff, the battery weighs 14.2 grams, and for example I can give you some information of dimension. So it's close to 48 millimeters by 21 by should be around 10. Okay, so should be not so hard to find equivalent, or maybe a little bit. It's a 500 milliamps power. No discharge rate mentioned, okay, but on the original it was assumed to be only 450 or 490. So micro Z connector is used here. On the right side you have a micro tiny power switch. That's always a good point. And when you turn on, you plug the battery and you turn on this machine, you will see that the LEDs are strong enough, in my point of view, to practice some night flights. Okay, you won't be able really to practice FPV during night condition, because as you will see in a few instants, the light sensitivity of this camera is not fantastic, but at least you can fly in lost conditions. So let's check the light. Okay, so strong blue on a front, red on rear, and you have the DVR, built-in DVR recording 720p videos, also lighting with a small red light. What is coming, I will return in few instants after for more advanced testing on this quadcopter. What you will find in the bundle, you will find two landing gears, plastic with some screws. If you want to introduce a small ground clearance on your quadcopter, okay, two small landing gears you will have to attach like this, okay, for example like this, and two screws on the bottom side of the canopy, okay, and you will be able to retrieve, and both of them weigh something like 1 gram 5 if I'm not wrong, okay, so 1 gram 1 exactly to be more precise. So standalone I can give you the information of the weight with the battery inserted, so it's already reaching 58.3 grams. So added with the landing gears, okay, you will be able to reach more than 60 grams, okay, something like this, 60.2. And well, with the prop guard, because you have some provided prop guard, very easy to insert, just clip them at the extremity and voila, and you'll be able to fly in more indoors condition with some props protection. Each of them weights they're pretty light, 0.5 grams, so the bunch of 4 will weight something around, if can hold on them on my scale, 1 gram, 9 grams added. Okay, so the total weights reach a little bit more than 60 grams with everything added. And for the 8.5 millimeters by 20 millimeters motors is still okay. So as I say in my introduction, this model is equipped also of altitude hold. It means that you have a built-in barometer. So when I disassembled this machine to check a little bit the hardware, I found that the barometer was well protected and installed on top, not directly on the main flight control board, but it's an external module, okay, linked with a very tiny copper wires. The RF chip is an XN297L. So this new variant is able now to broadcast the 2.4 GHz signal or to receive in receiver mode, also with the 250 kilobytes data rate. So it means that with this slower data rate, it's paradoxically a good news, because it will automatically extend the range, because if the data rate is slower, the RX sensitivity it will be better for a slower data rate. So in terms of radio transmission is a good news. So unfortunately, I was not able to bind this quadcopter with some existing 250 kilobytes data rate already Deviation TX hacked protocol. So I will try another time, but I tried to cycle between all the existing one and I was not able. So this unfortunately, this is a new radio protocol. To be hacked for deviation takes should be possible. So what is coming also in this packaging, you will find this classic 4.3 inch FPV screen with a sunshine, with very bright screen, no any brightness settings, so very with a poor, in my point of view, poor brightness default settings, so not so visible in strong daylight. So today is very cloudy, it should be a little bit more easy to see the result. You have a linear antenna coming with the RP-SME connector, and as you can see, only a power switch on the left side and a charging here plug to recharge the internal LiPo. No deep switch to select one of the frequency, and this one is locked on the fourth frequency of the Boscam band. It means that it's locked on the 5645 megahertz. So it means that there is no possibility to fly several JJRC H32GH in the same time, because all of them will emit on the same frequency video band. Okay. As you can see, no deep switch also on the quadcopter. What I really deeply regret in this model is the very narrow field of view of the lens of this M7 lens. Only 68 degrees of field of view. It's pretty narrow, and more the angle is a little bit targeting the ground. I don't know if JJRC never fly a machine FPV, but it's absolutely not the thing to do. When you're flying FPV, you are flying forward, so you need to apply an up tilt pitch angle, not a down tilt one. So you will need definitively to mode the position, the location of the lens to be more compatible, to be more FPV friendly. Okay, it means you will have to open it just by unscrew the 1, 2, 3 screws per arm. Okay, and you will be able to access after to the internal side. So two major mistakes have been done in the design. They use a very narrow field of view, and the bad news also, the M7 thread is too small to find a compatible wider length in the market. That's really a shame. They never understand yet that we need something where we have to fly with a wider field of view. Something like 980 or 120 degrees of field of view will be just great, and they never understand that. Okay, so it means that to practice indoors will be extremely difficult, and it won't be very pleasant to fly indoors with such machine. Taking the ground, you will have to react very quick, and to be you are completely blind in your field of view, okay, as you can see. So what is coming with instruction manual, to be honest, they are poorly written. Most of the main one is not really dedicated for the same model, but you have a Chinese English one for the transmitter, where you can find the main button. I will explain in a few seconds, and one also for the FPV monitor. So how to attach it? You just need to insert like this, and it's attached. Okay, and voila, it's locked. That's a good point. So according to the radio transmitter, it's a classic JJRC chassis, so not a bad one. The sticks are okay. Not fantastic precision, as you can see. The left stick for the throttle is also centered. It means that the altitude hold is here. So I will say immediately I'm not a great fan of altitude hold. It's assumed to be more beginner friendly because you are less stressed to control the throttle. So in extremely case, just release both sticks, and the quadcopter is assumed to stay in place. Okay, and then you can, when you are more relaxed, take the control and to be more adapted to the situation. But for FPV, I'm not sure that the altitude hold is a good option. Definitively, you need to play a lot with the throttle to make your elevation variation. Is very important to control the elevation. So, okay, why not? But it will be much more adapted for outdoors for sure. So when you have altitude hold, it's good for beginners, but there is always some drawbacks, and the drawbacks is when you are landing, sometimes it's hard to stop immediately the motors. So to turn on the motors or to stop, you have to push either in lower outer or lower inner. Okay, so I will continue to make the tour of the elements. You have a screwdriver for props, and I also regret that all the props are the same unique color black. I would prefer some different to distinguish the front to the rear. You have two USB charging, one for the FPV monitor with this mini DC plug, and one, of course, obviously ending with the micro LED connector. Okay, and a small metal wrench prop remover. Okay, so I think I present all elements, and let's now check a little bit the FPV. So good news for the transmitters, you can insert 4 AA batteries, and rechargeable batteries are working. That's great. And you have 4 main panel button here, wheel controlling the speed, okay, the speed mode, and the left shutter button to control the lights, and this one to perform flips. So basically the 2 upper panel button is to turn on and turn off the video recording for the upper left one. This top right one to take photos. This one is a return to home, okay, and this one is to start or stop the motors also. They should have also a headless mode somewhere, maybe by long press, probably this one. Okay, so let's make a small tour of the FPV characteristics. So as I said, no micro SD card is provided, so I will insert one, a 4 GB basic one. You don't need a release faster one, don't worry. It's recording in 720p resolution. Okay, so you will see The DVR between DVR is not bad, but the more limiting factor is unfortunately the CMOS camera associated with, in my point of view, very poor light sensitivities, and the field of view is so narrow. So let's turn the quadcopter. Okay, so at the beginning everything is flashing. You have to arm completely by pushing up and down. Then all the LEDs become solids. Okay, so now I can play, and if I push throttle, nothing happens because you have to arm the machine. So either press this start stop button or press in lower. I will try lower extern like this. Okay, oops, this one is blocking. And as I said, you have to keep down the stick button a few seconds to stop. So when you're crashing, imagine your props are blocked by something. You can destroy very fast your props of motor, burn them if the motors are blocked by some external elements. Okay, so that's the drawback associated with the altitude hold. But this quadcopter is really pretty silent. That's good. Let's turn on the FPV monitor, and here is the results. Okay, so look at the element. You cannot really distinguish the back of my room because the light sensitivity is pretty poor. Okay, today is not very sunny, but here are the elements. Okay, and I will show the result on another FPV monitor set on the correct frequency as well, so 5645. Okay, and you will probably see the results. So the FPV monitor in terms of brightness is not fantastic. Of course, it's obvious that we can see better on much better FPV monitors with a better brightness. So water element display, an HD logo on top left, not very useful. And here, this is a remaining time to record a 725 resolution file. Okay, so as soon as I will press the top left button, you will see that the logo is down to 0 and you have a red point here. Okay, and the good news, well, there are some good news. You can see that there is no frame rate drop when it's recording. That's a good point, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have some latency. We will measure that in a few instants. Okay, so at least no frame rate drop when it's recording. Okay, great. And here you have the same result. The signal is broadcasting in HJC format. Okay, and the signal is good, but just the light sensitivity is not fantastic. Some noise around. So, and the system is targeting the ground. Why not applying? Look that I cannot see the. I'm just front. I cannot see the what is broadcasting. Oh my God! Definitively, a mode will be to change the tilt orientation of this lens to be more with a positive angle. Okay, so we can make a small measurement of the latency. Okay, I will try to measure the stuff. I don't know if I will be able to measure everything. Up, up, and I will try to measure the stuff. Okay, sorry for my mic. So, yes, more or less like this. Now my tablet is okay, and I will try to reinitialize and see how it's filming. Okay, more like this. Yes, Yes, it should be a bit okay. I will, during the making up of this video, I will of course reduce the time, but the latency should be okay. My homeware FPV monitor yelling. Okay, now we'll turn off it. In terms of flying duration, you have something around 5 minutes. Okay, this quadcopter, despite its weight, is punchy. Okay, so the motors are well calibrated, well sized in my point of view. So that's cool. And but you will see that each time you will perform a yaw turn, you will have some bump. Okay, so this machine is doing it jumping in the air because to the altitude hold correction due to the barometer is, for me, is really annoying. Okay, I much prefer to fly without any altitude hold assistance, especially for FPV condition. So I will now conclude and of course perform some more advanced demo flight because I didn't check that yet in this first part of the video. And I will conclude that one more time we have here an FPV machine. Of course it's a beginner's entry-level model, but they just forgot the two main elements that we need for FPV: a wider lens, and first of all, they one more time try to target the ground, which is not really compatible with FPV, except if you want to fly high, stay in altitude and film the ground. Okay, make some kind of selfie, why not? Okay, in this case, but at least please offer us the choice to select the up tilt. Okay, and the second error is the usage of an M7 lens thread in my point of view, which is unfortunately this format is too tiny to find a compatible lens in the market. Okay, so that's a real drawback. No micro SD card. The flight duration time is okay. This machine is quite sporty, it's flying well, except that you will encounter after each hard turn, after a yaw correction, you will see that also will be automatically followed by the correction. You will jump in the air like this. You will raise in the air. I don't know why. It's linked with the altitude hold. Okay, so it's not really pleasant, but it's flying well outdoors, you will see. And I regret also the poor light sensitivity. So you need a very strong light to be to shoot very good videos. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this dedicated, detailed videos. Okay. And if you have any question, please type below, and please check now some more FPV and some. I will record at the same time the 720p video. Okay, here is the auto test of this JJRC model. So I turn on the FPV monitor. As you can see, no signal mean that in fact this FPV monitor is not really FPV friendly. No voice, no. So I will connect the LiPo. And you have a power switch, okay, on the left side. It's a good point. So the video should appear in a couple of seconds, no problem. And the light sensitivity, today is very sunny. Oh look, if I'm targeting the sun, you have a black hole, so it means that the light sensitivity is not great. I will turn on my FPV monitors in parallel, okay, to record both. So I will record here. Okay, recording. Finish to arm the machine by pushing up and down. Okay, and now I will press video recording. And first of all, I have to finish to arm the machine. Press the recording. Okay, I was a little bit too long, probably too long. Okay. Okay. Arm down, should be okay. I can press recording, these two beep, the chronometer is starting, and I will take off. So to arm the machine, you have to push the machine like this, okay, and you are now go. So I will try to show the FPV screen. You have some drift element, yes. I can really move forward, so probably I need to calibrate the machine. Okay. This is a problem with this machine. Okay, stop recording. And to calibrate the machine, you have to push the sticks in a lower left position. Okay, a couple of seconds. Or lower right. It should be calibrated. Yes. We start recording. Actually, it's a very slow machine, so I can increase the rate with the wheel. You press on it, and let's say to 80%. So now I should have much faster rate. Yes, it's great. It's a very silent machine. That's a good point. The FPV transmission is okay. The FPV signal is good. Oh, it's drifting a lot to the rear side, so I will apply some drift. Okay, now I should be okay. Look at the video, pretty stable. So it's nice to shoot basic aerial FPV, but it's not definitively an FPV racer, or indoors will be a little bit more limited, but the signal is great. So let's turn a little bit more faster the rate. Let's engage 100% to see how is it. The yaw authority is correct without being fantastic. Let's try a flip if I can. No, I can't. Okay. It's a very silent machine. Really impressed. You know, it's strange because the maximum altitude is blocked. I cannot go higher. I clip, and up it's limited to something like 5 meters. There is a kind of high limitation. It's strange. So it's including in the barometers. You have a red dot flashing when it's recording. I will stop to record to be sure to have something to record it. I will try to show you the performance of the FPV monitors. It's not a super fast machine 100%, but it's a nice one. So it's more adapted for small garden like this to start to practice FPV. The altitude, I think my battery starts to be weak now. Yes, so it's always defend by himself. Let's check if the LVC alarm is here. Yes, you can see it's flashing fast, so sign of FPV alarm. So you have something like 5 minutes. You have to know that my LiPo was probably damaged when I received mine, because I have to save it with the NEMH trick on my battery charger, so probably you can expect 1 minute more with non-damaged one, but it's offer 5 minutes. Definitively this machine I will stop to record my FPV monitor as well. Okay, done. Stop it here. Okay, and stop the machine through the tiny power switch. So let's conclude a little bit on this machine. Really, you have everything in one hand, 60 grams. A little bit less if you remove the prop guards and so on, and the landing gears. 5 minutes of flight duration. The FPV signal is good, really high, as mentioned, really don't like that the field of view is so narrow, why not to include 120 degrees and you will have a super flyer. The lens is unfortunately also targeting the ground, and it should be more offer on positive angle to practice FPV. Okay, it's much more suitable. Here is more machine to train FPV, but coming from a loss condition, so you want time to time to look to your FPV monitors. So it's kind of FPV control is more than an FPV flyer, so it's good to shoot basic video over a limited altitude. And you notice that the maximum altitude you can reach is something around 5 meters, so it's probably including in the built-in firmware of this machine. Despite the linear antenna, the FPV range is great, and the radio control will be great because it's based on the XN297L, so with a data rate of 250 kilobit bit by second, so slower data rate, it means more longer transmission range. So it's a good news. No, this protocol as far I know is not yet hacked in the aviation takes, but we can expect. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please send it. See you next time. Bye bye.